What type of mindset is that? And have it evolved even more since you've been doing the clothing brand?
Absolutely. So when I gave it up was because I listen to my wife a lot. You know, they say happy wife, happy life. And I listen to my wife a lot when it comes to certain things. And when she said, focus on this, it reminded me of what my whole life used to be. People telling me that I can't do this. People telling me that I'm not good enough, tall enough, fast enough, whatever. And so that the competitor side of me kicked in, which is what brought it back. And I said to myself that I'm gonna prove to myself that I can create the dopest motivational brand, let alone number one, in less than 2 years. And so I betted on myself and I pushed myself. And like I said, it was really me versus me. I didn't care about.
Welcome to the We Got Problems podcast with co-hosts Curtis G. Martin, Rhonda L. Brown, and Caliph Johnson Sr., the one and only podcast where solutions get discussed to our community's everyday troubles. Each week, you will hear mind-blowing conversations and actionable tips and strategies that you can implement in your daily life to become more effective. We got problems and we got solutions.
All right, you guys, welcome to the show. This is We Got Problems, the podcast where we talk solutions. I'm Curtis G. Martin. I'm here with my co-host, Rhonda L. Brown.
Hey, everybody.
I'm here with my second co-host, Mr. Caliph Johnson Sr.
Peace, y'all. How y'all doing?
And we have a special guest in the house today, Mr. Darnell Murphy, a.k.a. Mr. NevaStop. I was finna say Mr. Never Sleep.
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for having me. Thank you.
All right, so Mr. NevaStop, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do?
First and foremost, like I said, I want to thank you all for having me on here. This is really dope, really cool to be here to, share my side and put, get a little light on me. So, let's say Darnell Murphy is my name. I'm born in Louisiana, Alexandria, Louisiana. So Southern born. Father was military, so military brat. So traveled all over the world. So reside in Maryland as of right now. I'm a retired MMA fighter, professional MMA fighter, collegiate wrestler, and now entrepreneur, father, and husband.
All right, so what made you, out of doing all that, wow, retired MMA fighter, that's pretty cool. But what made you start a clothing brand?
Truth be told, it actually started back in my fighting career because the biggest thing people gotta understand is about promotion. When you're in the fighting game, it's all about promotion. And I've seen so many people out there, colleagues of mine and competitors, they're always pushing out these different stylistics of brand, their clothing brand, whether it's walkout shirts, whatever it can be to help them supplement income so they can train. Well, I never did it, but I always had that, I guess you call it infatuation for it. But I was so focused on just fighting, not focusing on the business side. So after my fighting career was done, I didn't really have an identity left. So I was like, well, shoot, I still have this urge to create clothing. It wasn't even to create my own clothing. It was just to create clothing. Just, whether it's words, whether it's, pictures, just create something. So told my wife about it, said I want to get into it. And she specifically said, do you want to make clothes for yourself or you try and become a custom manufacturer for other people? I said, I don't know. So she said, don't do it. Waste of time, waste of money. Just focus on your career. So I'm like, all right. And I neglected myself for so long that the urge to, create clothes came back harder. So I snuck. So I started saving money, bought the equipment, and just started doing it for fun. And then when people started catching on to it, and it was like, oh, this is dope. Your style is fresh. I like this. I was like, well, let me see what happens if I put more into it. So the same energy that I put in fighting, I put in clothes, and people started vibing around, with it around the world. And I'm just like, yo, I got something. But then my purpose, I wanted to create something that motivate people, and so. It's just been a work in progress ever since then.
So how did you come up with the name?
NevaStop. Honestly, my whole life was about never quitting, never giving up on yourself. I can remember from the age of 6, I was a chubby kid that had stuttering issues, no confidence, insecurity from. Well, I ain't gonna cuss, but I just had insecurities from and it got to a point where I used to get bullied a lot because I wouldn't stand up to myself. To when I hit the age of it's late, but I got to the age of 16 when me and my father, we got stationed to Japan, and my whole mentality was to create a whole different persona, different image. And anytime somebody told me I couldn't do something, my job was to prove you wrong. So everybody started calling me, Mr. Never Quit, Mr. Never Quit, never quit. Throughout school, because I was just like a pit bull who just never stopped. Even if I didn't have the skill set, I was going to find a way to get to your level. And so years later, that was my nickname. And then, like I said, I thought about the meaning, a message that I wanted my clothes to represent for people who were like me, don't have a confidence, they don't have security and stuff like that. And I was like, well, never quit. Yeah, because that people know not to quit, but when you wear it on your skin, it's like a reminder, So never stop, was more, it flowed a little bit more than never quit. So I figured, let me change it up a little bit, but never stop has a better, harder meaning to it. Just no matter what you do, just keep pushing.
Okay. So with having the idea and having a passion for it, just seeing clothes and going back and getting the equipment later, how did you take that idea and change it into a clothing business?
Well, the biggest inspiration and influencer for me that really laid the blueprint out of how to do it was actually Master P. So being from Louisiana, everybody knows Master P is the godfather of entrepreneur in Louisiana. And that's how he made his way out. I mean, he did music, he got into clothes, he got into sports, he did everything. So I watched a documentary. I think it was called No Limit Soldiers documentary that was on BET. And after watching that, I was just inspired. So I just started YouTubing. I YouTube almost every single content video that has probably ever been posted, whether it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I was just watching and researching, and everything that they said, each one that they said the same thing, that was repetitive. That's what I implement. So they say, Amazon. Every video said Amazon. They said heat press this from Amazon. So I was like, all right, it don't require much from me just to make, save some money, equate to the total on Amazon buy it. Just click buy if I really wanted it. And really, I just had a leap of faith, because part of me was like, oh, I have $150 now. Do I really want to spend it on this, or do I want to utilize this money elsewhere? And I just jumped. Like me, I stopped overthinking and just bought it and just did it. And I literally just watched YouTube and taught myself over and over and over again. I burnt over $200 worth of shirts because I messed up, but eventually on that 201, I nailed it. So, and then like I said, I just been practicing ever since then. And that's why I try to tell people, you have an idea. Idea is the start. And the next phase is to create a plan. And that's all I did, was create a plan to watch YouTube and study and implement what I learned and watch into reality.
You're mute.
When I see the company NevaStop, what type of clothing does NevaStop sell?
It's streetwear, street fashion, mixed with a little bit of athletic wear. So a lot of people I come from a personal training background, so that's one of the things I did forget to mention. I was a personal trainer for over 15 years, and the biggest area that a lot of people start to find themselves or rediscover themselves is in the gym. And so, and then again, coming from an athletic background, I like, materialistic things, where it's like fitness and such. So it's a streetwear fashion mixed in with some fitness wear. Yeah, like, I mean, truly just been literally just from there. My focus is to, like, again, is just to tell people, inspire people that you can do whatever it is that you want to do in life, fitness, job street, doesn't matter. Your life is your life to do whatever you want. And this is a reminder and living proof of it.
Do you consider your brand a high-end brand, or is it something that everybody can afford?
Oh, definitely everybody can afford. Definitely. Definitely. Because this is the thing. I want everybody to feel like they're a part of this. For every purchase that people make, you're a part of a family. You know, you can afford this, because I hate it. I know everybody experienced the feeling when you wanted the latest Jordan drop, and this $300-$400 because because it is what it is, but you can't afford what such and such did, and you have to lower yourself down to Pumas, or some Air Maxes, even though Air Maxes are dope. But it's a crappy feeling. I want everybody to feel this. I want everybody to feel like they're part of it. And so we're high quality, but the price for me is, if the price that I put on it is low, so that everybody, low class, middle class, and high class, can afford. Like I said, it's for us. It's to represent people like us who never gave up, never quit, and always found a way to keep pushing.
Okay. On that note, what are some of the obstacles you ran into while in the business side of it?
Man, honestly, the marketing side. Truly the marketing side, because in this industry it's so oversaturated, and people who starting as late as I did, which is crazy because it's never really a time frame when to start, but when you're starting now, you're going up against people who's been in this industry for years. And so for me, it definitely was the biggest obstacle, was just get out there and be able to tell my story, tell the message behind the brand, and allow people to get connected with it. And it's funny because my whole life, all my friends I grew up with, only, I can literally say 5 people bought any of my stuff. Majority of my clientele customer support is strangers I never met around the world, and it's funny because, like I say, it's again, marketing is the image. You can rebrand yourself to people that don't know you, but people that grew up with you, they know who you are. So it's like, you tell them, I got this dope shirt, would you support? They're like, yeah, let me get it for free and I'll rock your stuff. Especially in our community, it's kind of like, well, no, I put my hard earnings into creating this. Your support would be blessed if you either shared it, which is free, tagged, talked about it, or purchased it. So that's been the obstacle that I've been dealing with. But then and now is just marketing and getting the story told and getting people really hip to it. But some people, you cater to certain people, and some people you just don't. It's just it just is what it is.
So you had mentioned that you had got into the business of trying to do the clothing, then you left it alone, and then all of a sudden that fire came back. What type of mindset is that, and have it evolved even more since you've been doing the clothing brand?
Absolutely. So when I gave it up was because I listen to my wife a lot. They say happy wife, happy life. And I listen to my wife a lot when it comes to certain things. And when she said, focus on this, it reminded me of what my whole life used to be. People telling me that I can't do this. People telling me that I'm not good enough, tall enough, fast enough, whatever. And so that the competitor side of me kicked in, which is what brought it back. And I said to myself that I'm gonna prove to myself that I can create the dopest motivational brand, let alone number one, in less than 2 years. And so I bet it on myself, and I pushed myself. And like I said, it was really me versus me. I didn't care about nobody else in the room telling me. And that's what enticed me more, because when I look outside the window, I see everybody else with their motivational brand, or not motivational brand, but they got their own clothing brand going on. And you just seeing sales, pop, pop, pop. And I'm just looking like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna outdo them, but my mind is gonna have a message. I'm gonna really show people what's up. I'm gonna do something better. And then also I'm gonna create something that's different that no clothing brand does at all. It has never done, and is donate to struggling families. So that inspired me to go harder even more. Like I said, once that like you said, that fire that like you mentioned that I got back, that was just a competitor side of me that I was trying to keep in a cage keep in the cage and be the responsible, just work 9 to 5 and that's it. But that's just not in my nature, So yeah, I tell people, I say it evolved more and more, simply just because I'm so invested. This is my why. This is my focus. This is my purpose, And then I have a daughter, like I mentioned before. I have a daughter that she's autistic, low spectrum on the autism, but she don't speak. So for those who don't know, kids who are in that have that handicap they're already in the they're already at a lower disadvantage with the world, with society, the way structured is. So I want to give her an opportunity that puts her up ahead, So she will have a business that makes her money. She has something that she can continue to work if she decides to. But I just want her to be able to have an opportunity give opportunities to other people, kids, young adults who are struggling, to be able to, their light bills getting cut off, boom, we're paying for it, so you can at least see it tomorrow. You need some food on the table, bam, got you. Oh, no need to pay back, because that's not what it's about. The gift that keeps on giving. For me, I get gifted by people purchasing, and I'm going to give that gift right out to somebody who needs it.
Do you have an accountability partner, coach, or mentor?
My wife. She's an entrepreneur at heart. She's probably created maybe like 7 to 8 businesses that I know of. And a lot of times when I get, my little funk, my little, dark spot, dark place, she knows, she can tell, she can see it, she can feel it. And she'll quickly snap me out of it and talk to me, and she'll bring she's like I said, she's like a business consultant. That side of her will come out and pretty much iron things out for me and be like, oh, okay, give me back on track. So if anything, she'll be basically my supporter, my advocate, my mental coach, business coach, all of that.
Okay. So do you monitor what everything's going on in the industry? Because I know in your business, it's a lot of changes going on. It's constant upgrades with technology. Do you monitor what other creators are doing and what's going on in your industry?
Yes and no. Just because you have to, well, for me, I have to understand and see what's going on, because if I don't, stay with the trends or the technology or advancement, whatever, I'll be falling backwards and I'll get overshadowed, especially because a lot of things, and I'm speaking from a social media standpoint, and marketing, because everything is on the internet. You have to keep up with the internet. Otherwise you'll be, falling backwards and you're not going to be seen. So I do follow a little bit of what other content creators and people in my business industry they do, but then a lot of times I don't, because I go back to the old style of hustling and marketing, which is in the streets, going to the malls, book bag full of different sizes of clothes and style, and I'm slinging business cards and slinging shirts like literally like a dealer back in the day. That was the biggest foot traffic work that you could do, and it did not require internet or social media, and then for me it was better because now they can put a face to it. They know it's not a scammer. They know it is a real person. They can see me wearing my own stuff, so they can connect and vibe with it, and I can tell them the story up front. So to answer your question again, yes and no. I say it's like a 60-40 split. 40% I watch a little bit of what people on the social media side does, the internet does, just to keep up with them a little bit, but for the most part, 60% of me is in the streets.
All right. So how do you balance work and family life?
Man, bruh, I'm gonna tell you, I'm a work in progress. I'm gonna be straight honest with all y'all. I'm a work in progress. And man, it's been some, you're gonna make a brother cry on this one. It's been some dark, tough times, because I get tunnel vision. You know, that's just how it's always been my whole life. Wrestling, football, track. If I want to be the best at it, I gotta be cutthroat, tunnel vision, block everything. And the good thing is having a partner that truly understands that. My wife really understands that, but at the same time, she's a woman. We just had this conversation the other day. It's like she needs attention. If I'm not giving her that attention, it's gonna be friction. How can she help me? But I'm not seeing it because I'm so deep in. But we made a promise to each other, and she promised me anytime that I fall into those tunnel vision space, she'll pull me out. Once I get pulled out, and I'm on a different level. I can balance anything. But if I have like deep project, that's normally where my my hiccups happen, when I have big projects and I have to get I gotta get 200 shirts done in 4 days. Yeah, that's when I get lost. And again, I'm a work in progress. My wife helps me out big time with that, you know.
All right, so this next section is our rapid fire. So quick 20-second answers, whatever comes right off the top of your head.
Jeez, okay.
What's your why?
What's my why?
Hmm?
To be the best #1 motivational brand and give something to my daughter.
Okay. Were there ever times you thought that it wouldn't work?
Absolutely, every day.
What's the most important thing you've learned in your life?
To always bet on yourself. Don't quit, never give up, and don't listen to other people that aren't above you.
All right, if you could turn back the time and talk to your 18-year-old self, what would you say to yourself?
Man, I would told him to always just stay believing yourself. You know, if you're something that you want to do, just put your all into it. Keep your head down. Don't listen to nobody, again, unless they're above you. And stay consistent, because 18-year-old me was not consistent.
If you could sit down and have a conversation with anybody, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Oh, Master P, come on, man. Because he's a blueprint. He's a prodigy. He's a guru in the streetwear and business and just making money. So definitely Master P.
Okay, sweet. People always say you should save money and invest. What are some type of assets that you would recommend investment?
Oh man, I tell people buy into stocks. I say stay away from that Bitcoin crap, but stocks for sure. Amazon, Tesla. Let's see, Alpha, which is the Google parent is the parenting company
Google.
of Google. So yeah, we
ABC.
jump in those.
If you could recommend one book, what would that book be?
Shoot. Man, I don't even know, because I haven't read a book. I have not read a book.
Man, we're gonna have to get you in our book club. We
Right.
We got a book club for you. We definitely have a
put me
book
on.
club
I
for
have
you.
not read no books. I'm sorry.
What's one tip that you can give us that'll make our community a better place?
Man, get rid of the ego. Get rid of the ego and support more. Love, really. That's all one tip. I'm sorry. That's a 3-in-1 tip right there. That it will change the game. You know, we come together more, we'll be more powerful, and there'll be less issues.
Facts. How do you celebrate your wins?
Unfortunately, I don't. I have not stopped to smell the roses yet, because my focus is I have to reach a certain level, a certain peak, in order to be able to feel like I'm there. And right now I'm still growing, still climbing. So it ain't no wins yet.
We're gonna work
It's
on that.
some wins. Hold on.
We
You
gonna
can't
work
say
on
it ain't
that.
no wins yet.
We
You done
gonna
had
work on
some
that.
wins.
Hey, we
A lot of
almost ready
wins.
for that one. I was going to say too, man, you got to celebrate those small wins so you don't have that burnout, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes
Well,
we
but you know
get
what?
burned out.
My win is my wife, and that's the reason, because she sees what I do. She sees that I created something out of nothing in less than 2 years, and seeing the smile on her face, that's my win.
All right, there we go.
I like that.
So how can the people find you if we want to get with your brand, NevaStop, want to purchase some merchandise? How would we do that? How would we contact you?
You can actually visit the website, NevaStop.net, NevaStop.net. Instagram, NevaStop_official. For those who don't know, it's going to be a crown over and then a royal crown over N and the S. You can find me on Facebook, Team NevaStop. You know, TikTok, NevaStop. Yeah, I said I don't know anything that's NevaStop, any VA, you find me there.
There we go. Hey, so what's one thing that we didn't ask you that you want to leave the people with?
Dang, that's like a trick question. Hold
That is yeah, God.
We didn't ask them all.
Yes, yeah, y'all asked some good ones though, but there's one that I'm feeling. I think it's not a question, but it's something I do want to say. So it's for anybody who wants to get into the business of entrepreneurship in general, be prepared to experience and be tested. You will be tested over and over again when you feel like you ain't been tested. If you feel like you've been tested so much and you have hit the lowest point, trust me, you're gonna get tested even further beyond that. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. It's for those who want something more, something different. It's nothing wrong working a 9 to 5. I mean, people live a great life working 9 to 5, but if you're not happy, seek your happiness. And if entrepreneurship is going to bring you happy, then stick with it, regardless of the good, the bad, the norm, whatever. Just stay, the course, because you're being tested along the way. You're transforming, you're developing for the next big thing. You're not going to be given what you want if you're not ready for it. So mentally, spiritually, physically, you got to go through transformation in order to be ready to get it. So I'll leave it with that. If there's anything that you want to do in this life that's going to bring you happiness, whether it's money, entrepreneurship, 2 jobs, 3 jobs, a degree, whatever, keep your head down and just grind. Make your plan and stick to it. It may come in 2 years, it may come in 10 years. Do not worry about the time or the destination. Just learn and enjoy the journey.
And never stop.
That's what I was going to say.
Never stop.
Never stop.
Never.
So Rhonda, what do you have you want to leave the people with?
Hey, look, you just took it words out of my mouth. I was going to say never stop because he just said a lot. So, I mean, I don't know what else you can add to that. Just don't quit.
How about you, Mr. Caliph Johnson Sr.?
I love what you're doing, King. I really love what you said about giving back. And I love what you represent for the brand. Never stop. That's all that needs to be said. Never stop. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I like that. Hey, you guys, this is We Got Problems. And we also discuss solutions. And we out.
From the team at CRC Empire, we want to thank you for listening. To stay connected with us, like, share, and subscribe to the We Got Problems podcast. You can find us on social media platforms at Curtis Martin 247, at Rhonda Wrights Official, and at the_trash_vegan_. We got problems and we got solutions.